Okay, the verb to listen to and to hear. In this program, in this final segment for advanced students, I think it's more important to focus on the verb to hear, because to hear has several ways of speech that are very important, very common. Of course, listen to is very common all the time. The only thing you need to remember with listen is the T in the middle is silent, and if there's a object, direct object, indirect object, just to. Listen to, 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 ad nauseum and ad infinitum. Listen to. All right? Now to hear. Let's look at 3. To hear about, to hear of, which we saw before, and to hear from. To hear about, to hear of, and to hear from. Now to hear about is oír lo último. Have you heard about what happened yesterday? Did you hear about Philippe? Did you hear about John? Did you hear about Harry? Did you hear about what happened? Did you hear the latest? No, I haven't heard the latest. What happened? You haven't heard about what happened yesterday? No, I haven't heard about what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday? You're telling me you didn't hear about the situation in the dining room of the company, in the company dining room? What happened? Come on. Surely you heard about it. No, I didn't. I didn't hear about it, or I haven't heard about it. So to hear about is oír lo último, acerca de algo. To hear of is conocer o reconocer. I've never heard of that. Quantum mechanics, mecánica cuántica, ¿eso qué es? Es la primera vez en mi vida que lo oigo. I've never heard of it. What is quantum mechanics? Is it en un taller mecánico? Quantum mechanics? Fixing cars? Repairing cars? In a quantum way? No, I'm sorry. Quantum mechanics is one of the most important elements in physics, comparable to the theory of relativity. It's one of the most important physical, or one of the most important fields of science, physics, in the 20th and 21st century, quantum mechanics. Well, I've never heard of it. All right. Well, have you ever heard of geometry? Well, of course I've heard of geometry. Fine. Have you ever heard of trigonometry? Yeah, it rings a bell. I've heard of trigonometry, but I have no idea what it is. Well, have you ever heard of differential equations? No. Are they things that are different? You've never heard of differential equations? No, I haven't. Well, have you ever heard of biochemistry? Yes, I've heard of biochemistry, but I don't know what it is. All right. Have you ever heard of organic chemistry? Yeah, I've heard of organic chemistry too. What's the difference between biochemistry and organic chemistry? I don't know. But I've heard of it. I've heard of both. To hear of. Now, to hear from is very, very important. Because in Spanish and in English, we use this situation, we use this type of language all the time. Where in Spanish you say, no tengo noticias de él o sobre él. I haven't heard from him. No tengo noticias suyas. No sé nada de él. No sé de lo que hay de él. Ha desaparecido el mapa. I haven't heard from him. Well, Juanita was my love. I was in love with Juanita when I was 20. And she left me. I was brokenhearted. And she went off to South America. And I haven't heard from her since. I haven't heard from her since. I haven't heard from her. Desde entonces no tengo noticias suyas. O sea, no sé nada de ella. No, en inglés decimos no he oído de ella. Yeah, I haven't heard from him. Yeah. Hey, it's been a long time. Pedro, hace mucho que no sé nada de ti. I haven't heard from you in a long time. Finally, you dropped me a line. Finally, you sent me a message. My God, I thought you were dead. I thought you were lost in the jungles of the Congo, my God, but now I see you're alive and kicking, vivo y coleando. So finally, it's really nice to hear from you. Qué bueno qué agradable es tener noticias tuyas. Yeah, por fin, finally, I heard something from you. You know, I never hear from you. You never drop me a line. You never drop me a line means mandarme cualquier indicio de que existes. Okay. So at least I know you're alive. Come on, drop me a line. I want to hear from you from time to time. I want to hear from you. Quiero tener noticias tuyas de vez en cuando. I want to hear from you. Mew, mew, meow. I want to hear from you. Así enlazamos. Mew. Todos miuda. Miguel miuda. From you. From you. Practicad esto. From you. To hear from you. I don't hear from you very often. Why don't you write me more often? Come on. I'm your father. Uh-huh. You need to write me. I haven't heard from you in 4 months. Yeah. And you hear from me all the time, but I never hear anything from you. All right? So, the expression to hear from is extremely common in English. More common, in fact, than tener noticias de. Sé de alguien. No sé nada de él. In English, you can say, I don't know anything about him. Pero si no sé nada de él, si no sé nada de él es porque no he recibido noticias suyas. O noticias acerca de él. So I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard anything about him. But remember, where Spanish people make big mistake is heard of. No sé quién es. No me suena su nombre. It means I've never heard of him. Have you ever heard of Ljubljana? No. Who's Ljubljana? No, Ljubljana is not a person. Ljubljana is a place. No, I've never heard of Ljubljana. Where is it? It's the capital of Slovenia, dummy. I've never heard of Slovenia. Come on. Slovenia is part of the old Yugoslavia. You go what? You go? I go? Who goes? No, Yugoslavia. What's Yugoslavia? I've never heard of Yugoslavia. Come on, you've never heard of Yugoslavia? All right. Well, you need to study geography, my friend. Well, have you ever heard of Canada? Yeah, I've heard of Canada. Where is it? It's the landmass north of the United States, between the United States and the North Pole. Oh, yeah, but have you ever heard of Uruguay? Me? I'm not Uruguay. No, not Uruguay. Uruguay's a country. Yeah, but I've never heard of it. You're kidding. Come on. You've never heard of Uruguay? Well, it's a country in South America between Brazil and Argentina and Paraguay. But no, not really. Misiones. But I have to say goodbye. Have you heard of me? Okay, I hope so, because you have a lot of work to do with me for your English. Take care.